Welcome. In this phase, I will be just taking you through the active discovery of the penetration testing phase. That will just simply connect to the target and fetch as much information as possible and find also useful information like vulnerability analysis and what the vulnerability that presents on the target system and the host that you provide with the IP address and the network ranges. So there are a lot more tools and options you have to choose from your toolkit to use what kind of tool you want to use for the active reconnaissance. But the logic is simple, that the more time you will just provide for the using and set up the command for the tool, there will be less time to analyzing the result of the tool that it provides and output provided by this tool and any tool that can be used. So to my mind, I just really use such kind of tool that takes less time to setting up the commands and setting up the tools, and so that I will have more time to analyze the results and the scanners finding. So one of the this kind of tool is the Sparta. That is really a great tool based on the Python, and it is not the command line, it is the GUI application that provides the graphical user interface. So in the Kali Linux, just you have to start on the type on the command prompt like a Sparta, and it will be started up. So from the command line you can just start this tool, and why I like this tool is why I like this tool most, and I use this tool most of the time while going through the penetration test. In my personal experience is that this tool takes you through the simple point and click access, and it will be doing the rest of the work by itself, like providing output in a convenient way in the tab section you can see here. So I will just taking you through the example of why this tool is more valuable for active reconnaissance and discovery phase. So just simply you have to just click this section, and it will be asking you to provide the IP range and the IP address through a scan with. So in this case I will just put the IP address, what in this case is the Metasploitable 2 IP address, that is really a vulnerable web and a virtual machine. So in this case I will just provide my IP address, and as I said, this is really a great tool. It provides much more information about the target, and it consists many tools and run a lot more tools at the same time, and collect all the information at one place in really a convenient way using the tabs. So let me going through one scan and let me show you. I will not go deeply into this tool because this depends upon you what kind of scanning you are using, and what kind of and how many large the networks is there. So going through this one is just point and click access. Just enter the IP address and you have to just rest of the thing you will be doing by this tool. So more interesting thing about this one is that it uses nmap stack process. This is really a hard process that scans the network and finding open services and ports and finding the vulnerabilities associated with them as well. It can find also the MySQL database default credentials, and also it takes screenshots of the web services and servers found, and any result that has been found you can just manually take screenshots and grab the banners as well, and so brute force that port or services running on a specific port. So I will be taking you through and navigating through each one tab and the process that it discovers. So let's take this tool to scan the services and ports running on the target system. So as of now it have discovered port number 80, that is running Apache HTTP web server, that is the version of 2.2.8, and the operating system is Ubuntu. It is based on the Ubuntu, you can say. Okay, so let me navigate through this one, and just simply right click this one, any services it have just found, and you can be presented with a lot more options like open with telnet and open with netcat, send to brute. This is really a great feature that whenever just you send to brute option, it will be just being in this tab, and it will just brute force that port with the login IDs and by default IDs like username is root and the password is simple password. And if you provide a user and username and password list, then it will also work on that. So here you can see the IP address and the port number have been added in the scope. Like when I just used and directed this tool to use SMTP and brute force the SMTP port number 25, and whenever I will just click run, it will just doing all the work by itself. So despite going through deeply in this tool, I really highly recommend you that use this tool and find much information as possible. But there is one risk using this tool on the target and out of your network if you are not going through the penetration testing engagement, and if you are performing any other network like that you are not authorized to do the same. So it is highly recommended that you just use this tool and perform the net penetration testing phase of Active Discovery on your own network and the home network to be safe from any legal issues and the actions taken by any parties that on which the network you perform the actions. So at this time, as of now, it have provided a lot more information like script scan. This tab is for this Nmap tool that use the script scan for the vulnerability analysis of the web and the IP address or any services that is running on any specific port. So from here you can see there is also the Nicto tool that has been built, and it also finds vulnerabilities from the open source vulnerability database that you can see here. So it finds known vulnerabilities about the target system and the specific port. Well, this is the Nicto tool is really helpful for the web vulnerability scanning and analysis. So it will just scan the web analysis and find the scanning results with the known vulnerabilities, and it will also take screenshots of the as you can see here, it have just found scans and taken a screenshot of the port number 80, that is the web server on the port number 80, and the connection is made by TCP. Okay, from here you can just manually take a screenshot by using point and click on your own side. Suppose I am just using this one, and if I want to send this one to brute force that port and services, then it will be going through that one. And if I want to just run Nmap scan against this, then it will also do the same. So when I just click this to script scan with the help of Nmap tool, it will be doing in the last one that you can see it is running on the port of UDP and 137 port number. Well, you can see there is a login IDs and passwords that is default for the PostgreSQL database, and if there is a misconfigured server and any configuration details that it founds on the network and host, then it will just gather that and it will be presented up on your screen. So that is why I really like this tool most for the using Active Reconnaissance and Active Discovery. So you use this tool on your own network and own system, and just explore every features of this tool, because this one is really a good tool, because it gives you and provides you much time to analyze the results and just simply point and click options that it provides to start the scan. It doesn't take much more time. So use this tool and analyze and explore all the results. Thank you and all the best.